And I want to talk about a specific compound of sulfur called hydrogen sulfide. Now, hydrogen sulfide is a gas, is in gaseous state at room temperature. Is a compound of sulfur and hydrogen. Now, this gas has a smell of a rotten egg. Of course, that's one of the physical property. Now, physical property are properties that you can, those are things that you can see by your eyes and smell. So if I'm told one of the physical property of hydrogen sulfide is colorless, because you can see it there but is there, but you can smell, have a smell of a rotten egg. Now, this gas is, when you put it in cold water, it fairly ionize and make it slightly acidic. So as a result, it's collected over warm water. Now, how do you prepare this gas? Now, this gas is just prepared. In Form 1, you're told, but dilute acid react with carbonates, form salt, water, and carbon dioxide. The same way dilute acid react with metallic sulfide, that is a compound of a metal and sulfur, to form salt and hydrogen sulfide. So how do you prepare them? By maybe having iron sulfide plus HCl will give me iron 2 chloride and hydrogen sulfide. Now, hydrogen sulfide gas has very unique chemical property. There are two unique chemical properties that we want to talk about. One of the chemical property is that it's a reducing agent. What do you mean by reducing? Now, let me explain. So it can react with all oxidizing agents and it will reduce them. And one of the observations that we'll see is that every time it reduces something, it gets oxidized to sulfur, which are yellow deposits. So, one observation, if I'm asked, so you know this oxidizing agent, concentrated nitric acid, chlorine gas, acidified potassium manganate 7, acidified potassium dichromate 6, iron 3 ion solution. So what hydrogen sulfide does, if I bubble it through iron 3 chloride, iron 3 nitrate, iron 3 sulfate, it will reduce iron 2 ion, iron 3 ion to iron 2 ions. Now the iron 3 ions make the solution yellow, but iron 2 ions make solution pale green. So we'll make two observations. A yellow solution changes to pale green, and of course yellow deposit of sulfur. That is the observation. Explanation. Hydrogen sulfide reduces iron 2 ions to iron 3 ion, iron 3 ion to iron 2 ions, and get oxidized to sulfur, which is yellow deposit. Now, another, of course, nitric acid, if you bubble it, it will release brown fumes and yellow deposit. Then you say hydrogen sulfide reduces nitric acid to nitrogen 4 oxide, which is brown in color, and get reduced and get oxidized to sulfur. If I have a mixture of hydrogen sulfide and chlorine, it will reduce chlorine and get oxidized to yellow deposit. Now, physically, the color of chlorine is green-yellow. So the observation shall be the green-yellow color changes to colorless, and then there's yellow deposit of sulfur. When I do it, if I bubble hydrogen sulfide through potassium permanganate, it will change it from purple to colorless, and there'll be yellow deposit. Why? Because hydrogen sulfide reduces manganate 7 ions in the potassium permanganate to manganate 2 ions. So the manganate 7 ion is what makes it purple. Manganate 2 ions make it colorless and get oxidized to yellow deposit of sulfur. So observation shall be yellow deposit, and the purple color of acidified potassium manganate 7 changes to colorless. Explanation I've given. Dichromate 6. I bubble it through potassium dichromate 6, which acidified. The orange color will change to green and yellow deposit. Explanation. The chromate 6 ions will be reduced to chromate 3 ions by hydrogen sulfide due, and then hydrogen sulfide is get oxidized to sulfur, which is yellow deposit. Another property that I want to talk about hydrogen sulfide is able to dissolve in a metallic metals solution like lead nitrate solution, lead acetate solution, copper solution like copper sulfate, copper nitrate, zinc solution, and when it dissolves, it forms a metallic sulfide. And most metallic sulfides are insoluble and they are black in color. So if I bubble hydrogen sulfide through copper 2 sulfate, I'll see a black precipitate due to formation of insoluble copper sulfide. And this property is what is used to test hydrogen sulfide in the lab, because you bubble, so you can use lead solution, which can be lead acetate, which is lead ethanoate, or lead nitrate. You bubble hydrogen sulfide, you see a black precipitate. Then you can say this is hydrogen sulfide. That's the chemical test of hydrogen sulfide. Physical test is the smell, but chemical test is by bubbling it through lead solution, forming a black precipitate. That is chemistry for free. Get into my YouTube channel, Mr. Gaddafi Mangohai, through TikTok, Mr. Gaddafi Mangu Chemist, the best chemistry teacher in the south of Sahara and north of River Limpopo. That is how the boys of Mangu High School call me. Even if I become the president, I'll still be teaching. I love chemistry.